Hey everyone, it's Kaycie, and today I'm guiding you through a 60-minute Vinyasa class. And we're going to be doing a lot of balance, a lot of hip work, stabilizing. So I would recommend having 2 blocks for the practice just to help lift the floor to you, to give a little more leverage and space for being able to come into the shapes and the positions we'll be going through today. We will be working up towards half moon and half moon variations, such as revolved half moon. So think rotations, think balance, and think hip work, okay? We're gonna start in a nice, comfortable seated position. So any cross-leg seat works just fine, but if you need to change up your leg variation, go for it. Weight in your sit bones, lifting your spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders relax down, away from the ears. Hands rest on the lap wherever it feels best. And once the eyes close, let all of your focus start to drift inward. Start to feel a little more connected to presence, what it is that you're doing while you're doing it. How does your breath feel? How does the temperature feel? The air on your skin? How does the ground feel below you? Any emotions that you feel inside, feeling the heaviness or the lightness that it creates? Notice your energy levels. Notice the busyness of your mind. And let's help kind of ground down and feel a little more centered, a little more connected into our practice. We're going to start with Viloma breathing. Now, Viloma breathing, or against the wave or against the flow, is going to divide our inhales into 3 short little sips of air. So it's going to be, but all through the nose, okay? And when we divide the inhale into 3 little sections, we'll have little pauses in between each sip, and then we'll have one smooth, continuous exhale out through the nose, okay? So everything's gonna be through the nose, in and out, but we're just gonna break up the inhale. The exhale is gonna be normal, releasing breath, okay? So let's all empty out the lungs, start at the bottom of the exhalation. Through the nose, first little sip of inhale, breathe into your belly. Hold. Breathe into your ribs. Hold. Breathe up into your chest. Hold. Through the nose, exhale smoothly all the way out. Again, first sip of inhale, breathe into the belly. Pause. Breathe into your lower ribs. Pause. Breathe all the way up into your chest and your upper back. Pause. Through the nose, exhale, release all the way out. Let's do it a couple more rounds together. Inhale, belly. Pause. Ribs, pause, all the way up into your chest, holding. Through the nose, one smooth exhale all the way out. Last one here, inhale belly, pause, inhale rib cage, pause. Last third of the breath, inhale all the way up into your chest, shoulders, holding at the top. Through the nose, one smooth exhale all the way out. Now let your breath relax just a little bit. Now we should have a little more space created for the lungs to open and release. So as you find a fuller, deeper breath, start to lightly constrict the airway, allowing the breath to pass down the back of your throat, creating more of that ocean wave sound, that ujjayi breath, victorious breath. Start to find a smooth rhythm with this breath. And take just a few more here, nice and connected. Let your mind empty out. Whatever is here in your physical body, allow it, and just let this practice help you move through some of those blockages, some of that tension, but be kind, compassionate, and patient with yourself throughout. From here, let's join the hands together at your heart center and use this moment to set an intention for your practice today. Whatever that intention is, a positive thought, an affirmation, a mantra. And then gently blink open through the eyes. Inhale, the arms reach up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to the right side. Left hand to your right knee, right fingertips to the ground behind the hips. Lift the spine, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, rotating open to that right side. Maybe look back over your right shoulder. Let's take a couple more breaths here, lifting taller on an inhale. Lengthen all the way from the base up. And then exhale, twist. One more here. Deep breath in creates length. Deep breath out creates depth. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Reach your arms up nice and tall, lifting the spine. And exhale, twist to the left side. Right hand to left knee, left fingertips to the ground. Lift the spine, take a deep breath in. And exhale, twisting open to that left side. Maybe glance back over your left shoulder. Fix your focal point. Take a deep breath in, lifting a little taller. Deep breath out, twisting a little deeper. One more breath here. Take a full inhale, find the space and the length, and a full exhale as you find the depth. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Reach your arms up. Let's bend the elbows, pull the elbows back as you open up the ribs and chest, and sweep the arms all the way down to your sides. Cupping the hands over the knees here, we're gonna go through some seated cat-cow motions. So let's take a deep breath in. And exhale, chin to your chest, wrap your tail under, curl your back. You can lean into it, holding onto the knees for support. Inhale, scoop the heart forward and up. Lifting the chest, sit bones drop back, full extension in the spine. And exhale, round your back, chin to chest, tail tucks, curling here. Inhale, open, extend, lift. And exhale, rounding, curling. Go ahead and take a couple more rounds on your own and incorporate what other movements feel good in your body. Let this be your opportunity to kind of feel in a little bit deeper. Alrighty. Let's slowly make our way up into a nice neutral spine, taking the right leg long in front and just bring the left foot to the inner thigh. Okay, hips stay squared forward. Inhale, lifting the spine, maybe reach the arms up nice and tall, but hands can also stay down. Exhale, you're gonna hinge forward, dropping the fingertips down and walking the hands down the length of the leg. I want you to think about the pelvis tipping forward to create the movement rather than curling the spine forward to create the movement. So extend the spine long, extend out through the chest, hinge at your hips, feel the pelvis tip forward to create extra length and opening into your hamstrings, your lower back. Maybe you give a little swaying side to side, loosen up into your hip sockets, starting to lubricate into your joint a little bit. Let's take another breath. And then slowly walking yourself back upright. And all you're gonna do is lift the hips and turn them slightly open to the side of the mat. So now your right leg is out to your right side. Right hand drops to the inside of the leg, or you can slide into your inner forearm, okay? But whatever's touching the inside of that right leg, you're gonna press into it and help to open up your ribs and chest, and then reach your left hand high. Take a deep breath in, lift the spine, and then stretch that top arm overhead to the right side while keeping the chest nice and open. Don't worry about how deep you go. Just keep reaching. Right now we're just lengthening that torso, creating space. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way up. And the hand comes back down. Let's scoot our hips back to center. Lift the knee, extend the leg, quick little shake out through your legs. And let's go into that other side. When you're ready, the left leg will stay long, bending right knee, foot comes to the inside of the thigh. Squaring the hips forward over that left leg, spine up nice and tall, maybe walk the sit bones back a little bit. Inhale, spine up, maybe reach the arms up if you like that variation. Exhale, hinging forward at the pelvis, hands drop down, walking yourself out while extending your chest long away from the hips. The pelvis tilts to create that forward dropping in motion, not curling the back. Sit bones are drawing back, heart's drawing forward, leg is long, reaching forward through the heel, but pull the toes back so you're getting even an opening all the way down your calf muscles to your Achilles. One more deep breath here. Moving as it feels good. Okay, and then slowly walk yourself all the way back up right into a seat, and then just turn the hips slightly off to the side. So now that your left leg is open out to that left side, you're already getting a little opening into the inner hip and groin. Let's take left hand to the inside of the leg, or slide it gently towards inner forearm. Press into that leg to open up your ribs and chest. Right arm reaches up. Take a deep breath in, find length into the spine. And then exhale, leaning over towards the left as you continue to rotate your heart open towards the ceiling, reaching the energy long through the top fingertips. Nice length all the way from that right hip out. Inhale, come all the way up and set the right hand down to the ground. Scoot the hips back to center, right knee lifts, extend the leg, shake out those legs here. Okay, let's sweep the legs around, find your way into a tabletop position. We're gonna do a little bit of balancing, just kind of opening up the feet a little bit here in preparation for standing on them one at a time. So let's bring the knees and feet together as close as you can and just tuck your toes. As you walk your hands back, we're gonna peel the knees off the ground, finding a little bit of support through the balls of the feet and toes. Keep walking the hands in. You can also use blocks underneath your hands to lift the floor up a little bit higher. One hand to heart center. Find a focal point, concentrate on it. Spine up, both hands heart center. Try to point the knees forward. Navel draws up and in. Uddiyana Bandha is engaged. Crown of the head draws upward. Let's take 2 more breaths. Feel all the stabilizing muscles start to awaken today. Now lower the hands down. You can drop the knees if you'd like, otherwise keep them lifted as you walk the hands forward and then lift the hips up and back. Find your first downward dog. Reposition hands and feet as much as you'd like. Start to pedal out the legs, shift around in it a little bit, easing into your body. Feeling the hamstrings all the way down the backs of your legs. Feel your hips, feel your lower back. Notice any compression or tightness in the shoulders. One more breath here. Then inhale, come up onto your toes, looking forward, and walk your way to the top of the mat into a nice standing forward bend.
Generous bend into the knees as you let your spine kind of hang out here all the way down through the crown of your head. You can even nod your head yes or shake it no to really release the muscles. Maybe grab opposite elbows. You can sway side to side. One more breath, just kind of letting that lower back hang here for a moment. Sway to center, arms drop if they're interlaced. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Draw the heart forward, sit bones draw back, bend the knees as generously as you'd like. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale with the flat back, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms high over your head as you open up your chest. And exhale, forward fold, come all the way back down, hinging at your waist, draping the upper body. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And plant the palms, step back into a plank position. All right, so from plank, on your hands, shoulders are right underneath your wrists. You can always modify by dropping the knees, creating a plank from knees to the crown. Or you can come down onto your forearms if it's too much to have the pressure on the wrists, or if it just feels better for you. Give yourself a few breaths, and I really want you to focus on pulling your belly button up and in, engaging your core muscles, holding here for 3 deep breaths, 2, 1. Start to rock forward and lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes here. We're going to go through a few rounds of cobra pose, lifting as high as it feels right for you. Take it easy. Inhale, peel your heart up, your first round of cobra. Exhale, right back down. Inhale, press and lift. Exhale, right back down. Let's hold the next one briefly. Inhale, lifting up. As you hold, breathe. Open up the chest, shoulders down away from the ears. Pull the ground towards you, ribs forward, hearts up. One more deep breath in here. And exhale, find your way back to a downward facing dog, knowing that you can rest or modify any time that you would like. Let's hold here a couple more breaths at least before we keep the energy moving and flowing. Exhale, let your breath all the way out. Looking forward, step or hop, come to the top of the mat. Halfway lift position, inhale. And exhale, forward bend. Inhale up to standing, reach up nice and tall, Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold, come all the way back down. We're just linking up the movements. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. We're gonna go through Vinyasa, starting in plank. Feel free to modify at any point or just skip over and go to downward dog. So our Vinyasa from here, rock forward and lower, Chaturanga. Half or all the way down. Inhale, cobra pose or upward facing dog by floating the thighs and hips. And then exhale, downward facing dog, send the hips up and back, however it feels most appropriate for you to transition there. Let's just take a couple more breaths. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Looking forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift position, inhale. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come to standing. Reach up nice and tall as you open up the chest. This time we're gonna just take the hands, bring them together at your heart center. Let's separate the feet about hips width apart. We're gonna go into kind of a modified sun salutation B. We're gonna work a little bit more stabilizing muscles as we go through this, okay? So with the feet hips width apart,
Take a bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose. Hips down, arms up. So rather than a traditional chair where the feet are together, we want the separation because we're gonna really stabilize through the foundation of our hips. So let's take the hands together, heart center for here. Weight shifts in towards the right leg, so you feel more of a grounding point in your right foot. See if you can lift your left heel. If able, float your left foot. Hold here, sink in, sit in that chair for 3, breathe, 2, 1. Gently set the left foot down, transfer weight into left side. Right heel lifts, stay here, or hover your right foot. Core engaged, hold for 3, 2, 1. Set the foot down, arms up, deep breath in, chair pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift position. Exhale, take your vinyasa, flow your way back to downward dog. From high to low plank. Heart will lift up on your inhale, go at your own pace. And we'll meet in downward facing dog when you're ready. Now make sure you have your 2 blocks somewhere near the front of your mat so they're easily and readily available to you when you need them. Step the feet together. Inhale your right leg towards the ceiling. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Give yourself a few breaths. Just move in this shape, however it feels good. Inhale, straighten the leg. Square your hips. Exhale, take a big step forward to the front. Make sure you can get that knee to stack directly over the ankle. Now separate that front foot so it lines up with your right hip, and take the back foot, line it up with your left hip. Okay, so our feet are on railroad tracks that are the same width of our hips. Okay, now step the back foot in slightly until you can ground the heel down at a 45-degree angle, squaring the hips forward. Inhale up, warrior 1. So you're bending into the front knee, back leg is straight and strong, tail reaches down, navel draws in, Uddiyana Bandha is engaged, spine lifts, and we're really sinking into it here as we activate through our inner thighs, pulling them towards each other. Couple breaths. Now inhale, straighten out that front leg. We're gonna come into a pyramid pose. So from straight leg, long spine, and then exhale, hinging forward. Hands can drop down either to your blocks or to the ground, okay? Option is yours, but long spine on an inhale. And then exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper or just stay where you are. Chest is lengthening away from the hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Now you're gonna take a block underneath your left hand. It can be as high as you'd like it. I like a nice high block on this one, okay? Now I'm lifting the ground towards me, so I'm pressing firmly into the block as though it was the ground. Right hand is gonna come to my right hip. And I'm gonna pull the right hip back, squaring my hips towards the front of the mat. Now, nice long spine here. All I'm gonna do is gently twist, rotate my ribs and chest open to the right side. And instead of thinking about the deepest twist of your life, I want you to think about that feeling now that you have down the entire outside of your right leg. Okay, so pull the right hip back as you open and feeling the connection between that outer right hip and your twist. Press into the ground with your bottom hand. Make sure you're not collapsing in your shoulder. One more breath. Now exhale, slowly unravel. Bend the front knee as the hands come down. Set the block out of your way. From here, we're gonna step back, take your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Any variations are welcome here. Feet step together. Inhale your left leg high. Bend the knee, open up the hip. Give yourself
Same thing, a few breaths, just kind of moving into your hips. Then inhale, straighten out the legs, square the hips, big step forward to the front. Knee stacks right over the ankle. Separate your feet, width of your hips. Ground the back foot, 45-degree angle. And as you square your hips forward, inhale, rise, warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Bending into the front knee, back leg straight and strong. Activate inner thighs, navel hugs up and in. Core is strong, engaged. Breath is smooth. Couple more breaths. Feel into your power, feel into your strength. Settle into that foundation. Now inhale, straighten the front leg. Hands lower down. Use blocks underneath your hands if you're having trouble reaching the floor while keeping your leg and your spine straight. Okay, inhale, lengthen your spine a little more. Stay here, or exhale, hinge in a little bit deeper. Couple more breaths. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Plant your right hand to a block underneath your right shoulder. Left hand slides to your left hip. Keep squaring the hips, lengthening the spine on an inhale, and then exhale, gently rotate your ribs and chest to the left side while feeling the left hip pulling back. Keep pressing down into your bottom hand, lifting out of that shoulder. As you twist, feel that nice opening all the way down the side of your left leg. Last breath in. And exhale, bend the front knee as your hand comes down, set blocks out of your way. Now step back, take your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Couple breaths here before we keep it moving. Now inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, release your breath fully and completely, and then step or hop top of the mat. This time bring your feet as closely together as you can. Lengthen the spine, breath in. Fold, breath out. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Hips down, arms up. Now let's join the hands together at heart center. Weight into your right leg. Lift your left heel. See if you can hover your left foot. Warrior three. We're going to straighten the right leg and kick your left leg back, trying to bring your body into a capital T shape. Hands can also rest down to blocks of the floor for a little extra stability. One more breath. Slowly bend your standing leg as your left toes step towards the back of the mat. Keep your heel lifted this time. Inhale, crescent lunge. Still bending into the front knee. Back leg is as straight as it feels good. Tail reaches down. Navel hugs in. One more breath. Now take a deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, open arm twist to the right side. Take one deep breath in here. One deep breath out. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, warrior two. Set your back heel, open up the hips, arms stretching forward and back. As you settle into the front leg, roll the thigh open. Two more breaths. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, vinyasa. Hands cartwheel down, pivot on the back foot as you step back and flow. Once you're done, inhale up onto the toes. Exhale, fully and completely release your breath. And then step or hop, top of the mat, feet together. Halfway lift position, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose. From your chair, hands together, heart center. Weight starts to shift into your left foot. Lift your right heel. See if you can hover your right foot. One more breath. Warrior 3, kick the right leg back as you straighten your standing leg. Find a focal point. Use blocks or support as needed. Start to bend your standing leg. Big step back with your right foot, coming into crescent lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Settle into this foundation. Core is engaged, spine is long, legs are solid in their foundation. Deep breath in, spine lifts. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more here. Feel the inhale. Feel the twist on the exhale. Inhale, sweeps the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior 2, open the back foot, open up the hips, arms reach forward and back. Gaze is over the front middle finger. And as you bend into the front knee, roll the thigh open. 2 breaths. One more deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back, take your vinyasa or straight to downward dog. Let's take a mini child's pose. Drop the knees, sink the hips, relax the head and the arms. If you feel trapped heat, open up the mouth and let it out. One more. Wherever you are, when ready, make your way to downward dog if you're not there already. All right, this time inhale your right leg up. Exhale, take a big step forward to the front, knee over the ankle. Find balance between your 2 feet. Now, left hand is gonna plant down. Open up your ribs and chest, right hand up. Now start to come up onto the fingertips of that bottom hand. Find a focal point. Stay in your twist. You're gonna slowly come all the way up into an open arm twist from crescent. One more breath. Inhale, arms sweep up, come into your crescent lunge. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Start to lean forward, come up onto your back toes, press into the front leg, float the back leg up. Hold here, 1 extra breath. Bend your standing leg. Slow step back with your left toes. Inhale, reach up, crescent. Exhale, warrior 2, open up the hips, open up the arms. This time, flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Hold here on the exhale, sink in a little bit more. Now take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're gonna take your right hand to the ground. Maybe reach for a block. Okay, you're gonna take the block, walk it as far forward as you can, or fingertips walk forward. Take your left hand to your left hip. You're gonna start to heel toe your back foot in until you feel more weight shifting into the front leg, until you can press and lift the back leg up. Try to get your right hand to plant underneath your right shoulder for the most support. The block helps a lot. Stacking the hips open, left hip on top of right. Open up your ribs, open up your chest. Maybe stretch your left hand high. If you want an extra challenge, you can come up onto the bottom fingertips and even try to hover the bottom hand. One more breath. Now slowly lower your left hand, square your hips. You can set the block out of your way. Plant the hands, step or hop back, take your vinyasa. Please feel free to rest as often as you'd like. Otherwise, we're going to keep it moving here. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it through. Right hand plants down, open up the ribs and chest, left hand high. Deep breaths here, start to come up onto the fingertips on that bottom hand. Find a focal point, stabilize through your core. Inhale, slowly come all the way up into an open arm twist from your crescent. One more breath in, breath up. Inhale, the arms reach up, crescent. Exhale, hands to heart center. Start to tip your weight forward, come up onto the back toes. Press into the front leg to lift the back leg up, warrior three. Concentrate on that drishti, that focal point. Bend your standing leg. Slow step back with your right toes. Arms reach up, crescent. Exhale, warrior two, open up the hips, open up the arms. Flip your front palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Sink in on the exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down to the ground. Maybe grab a block. Walk that block forward. As you walk the back foot in, you can walk the block forward more. Weight into the front leg. Float the back leg up. Try to keep the hips stacked. Open up the ribs, open up the chest. Maybe right hand up. Half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Any variation is fine. One more breath. Slowly lower your hands, set the blocks out of your way, square your hips. And as you plant the hands, step or hop back, take your vinyasa. Quick little child's pose. We won't be here long. Just enough if you want to release out through your mouth, you can. When ready, downward facing dog. Inhale up onto your toes. Exhale, looking forward. Empty out your breath. Step or hop to the top. Feet together. Halfway lift position. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, chair pose. Take your hands, bring them together at heart center. Now, weight into the right leg. Lift the left heel, maybe hover the foot. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, warrior three. Send the leg back as you straighten your standing leg. We're going to take this to half moon first. Right hand lowers down below the right shoulder to the ground or to a block. Left hand, left hip. Open up the hip. Open up the ribs and chest. Shoulders stack, hips are stacked. Maybe left hand high. You can work on hovering the fingers if you want. Just one more breath. Now slowly lower your left hand down and square your hips. Square the hips. With the hips squared, keep your left hand where it is. Maybe bring a block underneath it. Right hand, right hip. Keep the hips squared as you lengthen your spine. Inhale. And then exhale, twisting ribs and chest to the right side. Maybe right arm floats up if the shoulders are stacked, but not pulling on the shoulder. Hold for 3. Breathe. 2. 1. Right hand comes down. Plant the hands, step or hop back. Take your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog when you're done with your sequence. Once you're in downward dog, take a deep breath in. Open your mouth and let it out. Inhale up onto the toes, look forward. Exhale, empty out your breath completely, and then step or hop to the top of the mat with the feet together. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands together at heart center. Take a deep breath in.
Deep breath out. Then start to feel weight in your left leg, lifting the right heel, maybe hover the foot. Breath in. Warrior 3, straighten the leg, send the right leg back. Stabilize. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Left hand drops down, block or to the floor underneath your left shoulder. Right hand to the right hip. We're gonna start to open up the hip. We're gonna open up the ribs, open up the chest. Maybe the right arm floats up. If you want an extra challenge, take it to your variation. One more breath. Right hand comes down. Square the hips. Really magnetize your inner thighs towards each other. Right hand to a block or to the floor underneath your right shoulder. Left hand to your left hip. Long spine, inhale. And then exhale, twisting open to that left side, ribs and chest. If the chest is nice and stacked, maybe left arm reaches out. Hold for 3, keep breathing. 2, 1. Lower the left hand down. Remove blocks if you have them, step or hop back. Take your final vinyasa. And when you're done, child's pose. Sink in, breathe. Relax any excess tension if you're still feeling it. Let it out. Start to slow everything down. But we're gonna be here for about a minute or so. If you're still feeling pretty highly energized and you wanna use this energy, maybe you wanna practice an arm balance or an inversion that's currently part of your practice. If so, feel free to go for that now. Otherwise, just enjoy your rest. Nothing is required, nothing is expected. Just feel it out. What feels good? Does rest feel good? Does movement feel good? Honor your body, honor your space, honor your practice. Dropping in. If you are practicing an arm balance or an inversion, maybe slowly starting to make your way back, making sure that you have time for rest or hit pause at any time. Alrighty. Let's slowly come forward, tabletop, sweep the legs around, come into a comfortable seated position. We're gonna grab a block and we're gonna come down onto our backs for the remainder of the practice. So slowly start to scooch your way on down onto your back, bending the knees and walking the feet in towards the hips. We're gonna come into a supported bridge position and then we'll go into some hip opening from there, okay? So your block comes at 3 different heights. Take it to the height that's appropriate for you and you'll know because you're just filling the space between your sacrum and the ground, okay? So hips up, block underneath your sacrum, above your glutes, below your lower back, nice flat little shelf, and then let yourself settle onto it. And as you relax, you'll feel kind of this support helping to melt the lower back muscles open. So all those core muscles that just work so hard, you now get to just feel them relax, to soften them out. And let's keep the knees bent here for now. Adjust the feet as you'd like to be underneath the knees. So we have a nice support, stability, but we're just keeping it nice and relaxed. We'll go into more extended versions here in just a moment. But give yourself about 5 more slow, steady breaths to just appreciate this opening and this releasing into the lower back. Okay.
If your block is on the highest setting, just go ahead and bring it down to one of the lower settings, and that way the block is a lot more stable, okay? The feet are gonna lift off the ground, and we're gonna feel the knees draw towards the chest. Hands cup around the right knee, pull it in as close as you can to your chest. Now, keeping it there as you slowly stretch your left leg forward. First, we're gonna activate it. So reach forward through your left foot, reach it as long as you can, as though you're extending and trying to point the toes towards the front of the room, but still just holding your right knee in place. You're not letting it move forward or back. And then keep the foot heavy as you relax your left leg, and the foot's gonna drape in the direction of the ground. Maybe it hovers, that's okay too. But you're gonna feel this draping sensation over the front of your left hip, all the way down to the foot. A nice opening through your hip flexors and quads. Let's take about 6 slow breaths here. Just try to relax what you can and focus on the depth of your breath. Slowly releasing out until you can pull both knees into the chest again. This time your hands cup around your left knee, pulling it in nice and snug, and then start to extend your right leg out actively, reaching through the foot and toes. So stretching the foot as though you're trying to lengthen your leg another inch or so. Keep holding that left knee in as you extend the right toes, reaching, reaching, reaching. And then let the foot fall heavy. Allow a bend into the knee as you soften the muscles of the leg. The foot can rest on the ground, or maybe it just hovers in space. It's entirely up to you and what your body just naturally wants to do. And we're going to take about 6 slow breaths in this shape now. One more breath here. And then slowly release. Let both feet go long in front of you and just let your feet kind of fall into a natural shape. Arms can rest wherever you'd like, maybe overhead to get that full body elongation here. If it's too much to have the legs both extended out, if it creates any pinching in your lower back, just rebend your knees, feet flat on the ground. Take 2 or 3 more breaths. Arms drop back down to sides. Bend the knees, walk the feet in. If you need to hold on to your block, you can. Otherwise, we're just going to lengthen the legs straight up towards the ceiling into a supported candlestick position. More of a supported shoulder stand or a modified shoulder stand. Just getting a little bit of this relaxed inversion here. Feel that reverse process. All the energy trickling down from your feet, melting into your hips and in your lower back. And feel all that tension drape all the way down the spine, melting into the floor and trickling outward. 2 more breaths. Bending the knees, and 1 foot at a time, lower the feet to the ground. Lift the hips away from the block. Remove the block out of your way. I like it slightly overhead so that when we come into twists, they're not in our way. Let the hips drop back down. Sway your knees from side to side. Any tension that may have accumulated in your lower back, just feeling it loosen up, breaking it up. All right. Right knee hugs in. Stretch the left leg long in front of you. Grab the knee with your left hand, right arm falls to the side. Let's take a deep inhale. And exhale, twist. Pull the knee over to the left and down while keeping your right shoulder blade grounded. Each breath in, feel your body expand with air. Each breath out, maybe guiding a little deeper. 2 more deep breaths. Subtle movements, deep breath. Last one in this shape. Knee slowly lifts all the way back up to center. And then stretch your right leg long in front of you, and we'll do the other side. Left knee hugs to the chest. Use your hands to draw it in. On an inhale, hold the knee with your right hand, left arm to the side. And exhale, twist. Pull the knee over to the right and down while keeping left shoulder grounded this time. Head can roll left. Breath in fills you up, maybe slightly takes you out of the twist. And exhale, as you empty the breath, you go a little deeper. 2 more breaths here. On your own, feel the subtle movement with your breathing. Head to center, knee to center. Hug both knees in, head up towards the knees, squeeze in tight. And then we'll release all the way out for Shavasana. If you want blocks underneath your knees or behind your calf muscles for support, you can take them. Otherwise, just allowing yourself to lie flat. Resting, getting those last fidgets out now. We've gone from movement and we're settling down into the still. So as you feel the stillness reintroduced here, take note of how you feel, hopefully more open and more connected. And then just let yourself drop in completely into present moment, just as you are, taking it all in. We're going to take 1 breath together, so exhale everything out. Slow breath in, filling all the way up from the bottom to the top and all the way around. Holding at the top of the breath. And then just open up your mouth and sigh it all the way out. Feel more ease, more softness, stillness, and depth. For the next few minutes, just allow yourself to fully enjoy the space you're in. If you want more than a few minutes of rest, just hit pause and take as long as you'd like.
Start to slowly deepen your breath. Feel the air recirculating through your body, more full and expansive. Moving your fingers, your toes, starting to awaken your joints, your wrists, your ankles, rocking your head, maybe even bending elbows or knees. And then stretch the arms over your head. As you lengthen down through your legs, you can shift a little in your hips. And then knees draw to chest as the arms wrap around the legs. Rock yourself side to side. And then roll all the way over to either side, fetal position. Pressing into the top hand as you guide yourself all the way up into a comfortable seated position of your choosing. Spine lengthens, hands together at heart center. Come back to that place of intention. Deciding whether you want to carry that intention with you or set something new. Giving thanks to your bodies for all the amazing things they do for you. The very fact that you were able to roll out your mat in practice today is a blessing. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide today. So much love and so much gratitude. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed leading that practice, a nice little balance of heat as well as stillness, and being able to kind of feel the ways that the body connects and moving through that power to feel that deep, deep stillness. So would love to hear your feedback, and I will be seeing you all soon. Thank you.